Hi, good afternoon to our viewers. This is Rappler Recap, and today we are giving you a preview on what's about to unfold next week when the Commission on Elections is expected to decide on a number of cases seeking to block the 2022 presidential bid of Ferdinand Marcos Jr. I am Dwight De Leon, your Comelec reporter, and I am joined by Lian Buan. Hi!
Hello, Dwight. Yeah,
Uh,
Dwight, you want to for starters, like give us the basic lay of the land. Ano ba yung mga natitira pang petition sa Comelec?
Sige, siguro bigyan lang kayo ng, ng overview. There have been 8 petitions filed with the Commission on Elections against Bongbong Marcos. Um, Iba-iba yung count siguro sa may mga petitions silang hindi binibilang, ganyan. Pero sa count ng Rappler, may 8. Of the 8 petitions, 5 remain unresolved. And itong 5 petitions na ito, makonsider natin na halos lahat dito mga high-profile cases na against Bongbong Marcos. For example, dun sa second division, which is composed of Commissioners Antonio Co and Socorro Inting, meron doong petition to cancel the certificate of candidacy of Bongbong Marcos filed by the group of former Supreme Court spokesman Ted Te. Then, meron ding disqualification case na hinahandle ang second division. Yun naman ay final ng grupo ni former Comelec chairman Christian Monsod. Ngayon, itong isa sa case na yon, isa sa dalawang cases na yon, yung petition filed by Ted Te. Ang ruling doon is expected to come out next week. Pero ang pinaka-eksakto, siguro around January 17, ang first division, ito ang magbibigay na o maglalabas na ng ruling sa 3 disqualification cases against Bongbong Marcos. Just to give you a picture, itong first division, ang nag-handle nito ay ang people dito sa first division ay sina Senior Commissioner Rowena Gonzon and Commissioners Amy Ferolino and Marlon Casquejo. So sa Monday, on or before January 17, pero we're expecting na January 17 talaga ito lalabas, magkakaroon ng isang resolution on the 3 disqualification cases against Bongbong Marcos. Namely, itong mga petitions filed by the Bonifacio Ilagan and other martial law survivors. Then we have the petition filed by Akbayan and other civic leaders. And the third one is the petition filed by former Partido Federal officers. So, yun yung mga inaasahan natin sa January 17 at sa mga darating pang linggo. Lian, of course, siguro sa ating mga nanonood lang nung nag-aabang lang ng mga kaganapan sa Comelec, maaring hindi sila familiar dun sa pagkakaiba ng mga petitions filed. Particularly, meron kasing disqualification petitions Pero may isa pang natitira. Ito tinatawag nating petition to cancel the certificate of candidacy. Can you give our viewers a picture lang of the difference between the two?
So dun sa remaining 5 petitions na sabi mo nga yung 2 nasa second division nila Commissioner Ko and yung 3 consolidated as 1 ay nasa division nila Commissioner Guanzon. Yung 3 dun sa division nila Commissioner Guanzon, all of those are petitions for disqualification, while whereas yung nasa division nila Commissioner Ko, it's 1 petition for disqualification by the group of Christian Monsod and the remaining 1 petition to cancel COC by the group of Ted Te. The main difference between a petition to cancel the COC and the petition for disqualification, bukod sa magkaiba yung deadline ng dalawa ay, ang petition to cancel COC, once it's granted, walang pwedeng mag-substitute kay Bongbong Marcos because if you cancel a COC, then it's like no COC was ever filed. So walang kandidato. But if Bongbong Marcos is disqualified via any one of those 4 remaining petitions for DQ, then he can be substituted as long as the person substituting him has the same surname. So, syempre, people are looking at Senator Amy Marcos kung masasubstitute siya if ever. So, yung effect nung dalawa, mas there's a greater effect when the COC is cancelled. But when it comes to the bar of whether it will be granted or not, some lawyers are saying mas mataas yung bar ng petition for disqualification kasi you are arguing that this person is disqualified to run for public office. So you are attacking the qualifications. Whereas the petition for COC, it has one exclusive ground, which is there should have been a material representation in the COC. Dapat mapatunayang sinadya mo, deliberate and willful yung pagsisinungaling mo sa COC. And that's what the petition of TED Test Group is trying to argue. Although yung kanilang framework ng material representation is also kind of based on some grounds of the petition for disqualification. So, yung main grounds actually, the main root of most of these petitions is the conviction of Bongbong Marcos for failure to file ITRs noong 1997. This was a decision na, an affirmed decision by the Court of Appeals, pero much of that decision by the CA in 1997, mukhang cleared si Marcos from all election hurdles. Kasi una, hindi siya pinatawan ng imprisonment, which should have been a clear ground for disqualification. Kasi if you have been sentenced by final judgment to an imprisonment of more than 18 months, disqualified ka. Pero dahil wala siyang imprisonment, na-erase yun for Marcos. And then, there are also arguments if he had been convicted of a crime of moral turpitude. So moral turpitude ba yung failure to file ITR? And of course, Bongbong Marcos is saying that it's not. And there's also the issue of binayaran niya na ba yung kanyang mga multa at kanyang deficient tax to consider his sentence served. Because under the election code also, if you have served your sentence, then the disqualification ground is deemed removed kapag 5 years or more nang nakalipas since you served your sentence. So there's a question of na-serve niya na ba yung sentence? Kaya nagkaroon ng pakitaan ng mga resibo, ng mga certificate, ng BIR from the court kung totoo bang nagbayad na siya. For the group of TED-10, meron silang court certification na sinasabing wala pang compliance to the judgment of payment. The group naman of Bongbong Marcos showed a certification by the BIR that they obtained just last December to show people na nagbayad na siya noon pang 2001. And if I remember correctly, nung nag-hearing sina Commissioner Gonzon sa First Division, inamin nung lawyer ni Bongbong Marcos, si Attorney Hannah Barcena, na wala pa silang or hindi niya mapakita yung resibo mismo nung nagbayad on the date in 2011, pero meron silang certification na date ay 2021 at inamin ni Attorney Barcena na ang payment was made directly to the BIR and not to the court. So yun yung mga arguments ngayon na pinag-aaralan or pinagtatalunan ng dalawang kampo. Now moving on to the scenarios. Kapag kasi nawala ang pangalan ni Bongbong Marcos sa balota, things are made more urgent for him. Siya na yung mapipilitang pumunta agad sa Supreme Court para, I guess, humingi ng status quo ante order para hindi ma-remove yung pangalan niya, or humingi siya ng petition for mandamus to compel the Comelec to put his name on the ballot. But as I understand, Dwight, hindi naman tatanggalin ang pangalan ni Bongbong Marcos hanggat walang decision ng Comelec and Bank, and I think magpiprint na sila sa Lunes. So if you could tell us more about that.
Yes. Actually, reporters present during the mock elections last December were told by Commissioner Antonio Co of the 2nd Division na kailangan yung decision on Marcos, if ever, kunyari ma-cancel yung kanyang COC, dapat sa NBank level ito at hindi division level. Kasi kapag division level lang, well, they are likely to still include his name on the ballot. And yun nga yung printing of ballots sa Lunes na. And we are expecting the final list of candidates to be released tomorrow. So, I think this is quite similar din sa siguro sa proseso ng party list groups. If you remember, parang last year, may mga applications na dininay sa division level. Then some groups were able to make their appeals sa NBank. Then nung nireject sila with finality ng NBank, these groups went to the Supreme Court to ask for the Supreme Court's intervention. Kaya ang ending, we have some 12 groups, 12 party list groups still retained on the ballot. So siguro with Marcos case ganoon din. And given na parang nasa division level pa lang tayo, of course, kung ano man yung maging desisyon ng second division sa petition to cancel Marcos COC, that will be appealed and abot pa yan sa division level. And siguro if you can just see the timeline of events, ang siguro fair observation na medyo matagal mag-rule ang second division on cases. Itong petition to cancel Marcos COC, parang last month pa ito deemed for resolution, pero hanggang ngayon wala pa ring ruling on the matter. Samantalang if you compare it to the first division na hinahandle nililid ni Presiding Commissioner Rowena Guanzon, they conducted their preliminary conference just last Friday. What date was that? January 8, if I'm not mistaken, tama ba? And we're expected to the first division is expected to release a ruling just 9 days later on January 17. So the commissioners are aware or are very conscious that they have to resolve the cases against Marcos as quickly as possible. And we also have to point out that 3 of members of the NBank are retiring in February. We have Comelec Chairman Sheriff Abbas and yun nga si Commissioner Antonio Co and Commissioner Rowena Guanzon. But I asked then Comelec spokesman James Jimenez yesterday, and he said na, well, it's likely na magre-retire itong commissioners na ito, na or possible na mag-retire ang mga commissioners na hindi na-resolve yung mga cases. So important din siguro na abangan kung sino ba yung mga papalit o sino yung mga papalit sa kanila sa Comelec, dahil itong 3 bagong members ng Comelec and Bank will handle the cases against Marcos. So definitely magda-drag on pa itong mga cases na to until February at least. So and beyond that, kahit pa matalo si Ferdinand Marcos, hypothetically sa Comelec, he can still make an appeal to the Supreme Court. I think we saw that in 2015, 2016 when the Commission on Elections disqualified then presidential aspirant Grace po. Can you tell us more about it, Lian? Parang ano yung process? Bakit after Comelec, it's not yet final because there's still that Supreme Court possibility.
Yeah, before that, just a side note, no, sabi mo nga magre-retire na sila commissioners ko, Abbas and Guanzon. Commissioner Antonio ko is actually applying to become a justice of the Supreme Court. So, pag na-appoint siya ni President Duterte to the Comelec, and then aalis siya sa Comelec having not resolved that case, pero siya naman ang uupo sa Supreme Court to resolve the appeal of that case. So, titignan din natin yon. And yes, sabi mo nga, everything goes to the Supreme Court eventually. It's the court of last resort. Every decision of judicial and quasi-judicial bodies like the Comelec end up in the Supreme Court. And yeah, we are looking at a repeat of 2015-2016 when Grace Poe was disqualified by the Comelec but was overturned by the Supreme Court, and she was eventually allowed to run. And parang deja vu for every one of us in context of the Marcoses, because it's 5 years since the Supreme Court granted a hero's burial to their father, the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos. It's a little about more than a year since the Supreme Court junked the presidential electoral contest of Marcos against Vice President Leni Robredo, and now he will go again to the Supreme Court. So that much is clear. Lahat tayo siya ay aabot sa Supreme Court, and we will all just end up in the Supreme Court. It's just a matter of how he will get there. Kung gaano kalakas yung magiging appeal niya, sino ba yung magiging lopsided when they go to the Supreme Court. So, as a last question, Dwight, there was a big fuss about the hearing na ni-livestream nila Commissioner Guanzon about Bongbong Marcos not being able to appear via Zoom, and then nung nagbigay ng medical certificate ang kanyang mga lawyer, I think there was a mga pahabol move si Commissioner Guanzon. He wanted a submission of a notarized medical certificate. What do we expect from that? Meron pa bang ibang resolution sa Commissioner Guanzon, or kasama na siguro to sa resolution dun sa mga kaso?
Yeah, well, we have to wait and see kung ano ba yung kalalabasan ng notarized medical certificate. But ang latest dito, yung camp ni Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos already submitted a notarized medical certificate. Yun nga, due to questions on why he skipped the preliminary conference na supposedly required siyang umattend. So, I think it's important to take note that maraming ginawa recently ang First Division na rare, if not unprecedented. We don't usually see preliminary conferences being live streamed, and we don't usually see transcripts, the transcript of a preliminary conference being released to the public. But I guess the division wants it, and the division recognizes the significance of this case, how many people are tuned in, and are really looking forward kung ano ba yung kalalabasan ng cases na to.
Yeah, good point, Dwight. Sobrang unprecedented nung ginawa ng First Division to live stream a prelim conference and readily released to the public the TSN. Hirap na hirap kami mga justice reporters sa pagkuha ng TSN. So that was quite a nice surprise. And if the Supreme Court does schedule oral arguments, we can also expect them to live stream it, albeit audio lang. Walang video like the one in Comelec. So yun muna siguro from us, from Dwight and I. Thank you so much for tuning into this Rappler recap, and we will be on standby starting tomorrow, and on Monday, January 17, for the expected release of the ruling of the First Division on the 3 consolidated as 1 petitions for disqualification against Marcos. Thank you for watching Rappler recap.
Thank you.